what are the rules of an open relationship? Pay attention to the next few minutes in this video as I go over what are my rules in an open relationship, and every single one of you are you're gonna have different rules for your relationships, but at the very least, appreciating my rules will give you some ideas as to at the very most why I have them and how you can apply them into your relationships. Rules are critical. They are essential for the happiness and freedom and harmony of your relationships, especially in an open relationship. The reason why we're able to go out there in the streets and out there in society where we don't have the fear of being assaulted and being robbed from or being killed is because there are rules that exist for us to be able to prevent that in our society. And so rules create more freedom rather than less. And most people imagine that, oh, there's so many rules, but the truth is more rules equals more freedom rather than less. So that's very important to remember. My rules are very simple. The rules, now, when most people, a lot of people have complicated open relationships where they have a lot of rules, and that's fine. But I'm going to come at it from a sense of tremendous amount of maturity and confidence and self-esteem. And I'm going to address that a little bit in a couple minutes. I have two very simple rules. So rules like don't have fluid exchange sex with somebody who you don't know whether their sexual health is good. They're not part of the rules because that's just common sense. And I come from the standpoint that if my partner isn't smart enough to recognize that my sexual health and their sexual health is of primal importance to the both of us, they're not the kind of person I want to be with. And so I presume that with any other sexual encounter that me and my partner have, me and my beloved have, it's going to be because we appreciate and we know 100% certain that the other person can procure their sexual health documents. My number one rule is that I will never be any woman's only male lover. Now, if you're a woman watching this, your rule could be, or you could change that to appeal to your gender, such as, I will never be any man's only female lover. Now, the reason I have this is that I never be taken for granted. And I talked about this in other videos, but only if my partner, and I know my partner, has choice, will I know that her choosing me or his choosing you has any significance at all. Only if you know that they have choice. Now, some people might say, well, I'm not going to sleep with anybody else, but I'm continue choosing to. At some point, no matter how much they imagine they're choosing to be in a relationship, they will take it for granted, and you will feel and be taken for granted since they don't actually have choice. And so I'm going to go over why this sort of rule takes tremendous amount of self-esteem, self-confidence, and profound maturity in another person. This is why it takes a tremendous amount of maturity to be with this kind of person. And you might imagine, man, it's really hard to find a person who's that mature. But the truth is, if you presume at the outset that you're looking for this kind of person who has that kind of maturity, there are lots and lots of beautiful women with tremendous amount of maturity that you're missing out on, or men that you're missing out on because you have that self-limiting belief. My number two rule is this: she must get along with my other female friends. And you could change that to your your gender, he must get along with my other male friends. Now, the reason also why I'm propagating this message is I understand that you probably know, being a woman, that if you're a woman watching this, that a lot of men have this thing called ego. And they can't bear the thought of other people being better than them in many different aspects, especially their masculinity or their sexmanship. I'll leave it at that. So she must get along with my other female friends. It doesn't mean that she has to do the act or make out with them or hang out with them or be with them. It just means that no, don't go out of your way, don't do anything to start rumors, no infighting, no starting stuff. So, those are my 2 rules. Now, it takes a profound amount of maturity for anyone to be able to follow those rules. It takes a couple of things: maturity, self-confidence, a good sense, an appropriate good sense of self-worth, and self-esteem. Some people in relationships, they have rules to limit their sexual partners or sexual endeavors, or they have rules on the things that they emotional boundaries and rules for sex. And these rules are great. These rules are good. And the reason I don't quite have them, and they are assumed to be presumed, is because I expect my partner to have the maturity to understand the fundamentals of sexual health, emotional health, and appreciate that she has self-worth, or she has an appropriate amount of self-worth, that when I'm with someone else, that she knows that I love her, that she is my primary, that she is my beloved, that she is my first considered and first thought of every single time. And there is no jealousy in our relationship. Now, I understand you think that not that many people are that self-secure and that doesn't get jealous. I understand, which is why communication is essential in your relationship. Now, if you have the appropriate amount of affection and true love, and you communicate that with your beloved, you're able to facilitate that. Is it harder? Does it take more maturity? Does it take more responsibility? Does it take more communication, going out of your way? Absolutely. But having more skills in this particular area and having more communication rather than less is always better in a relationship, and something you must endeavor to become better at. So that's my video for today. What do you think? Do you have rules for your relationships? What are your rules? Share them in the comments below. Click the heart on this video. It helps me out. Click the like and subscribe to my channel. And I will talk to you in the comments. Leave a comment below. Share this video. I would appreciate that. I'll talk to you on the next video. Bye.